As promised, he is the two-time national champion head coach of Clemson football, which is in its 12th year under his head coaching leadership for the entire season. Took over in the middle of the 2008 season. At any rate, his name is Dabo Swinney here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Coach?
I'm great, Rich. Good to be with you.
Good to be. Well. Yeah, you bet. So, what is a day of a coach like yourself with a national signing period next week when you're taking on Notre Dame for the ACC championship? What is your day filled with, Dabo?
Well, it'll be a little different this year. The years past, it's been during our bowl prep when we've had this day. So, we just kind of had to balance practice and getting the signing day procedure done. And it's been fun. It's been good. This year is really different because obviously the season is pushed back. We would have been done a week ago or so, but we obviously are playing all the way through December the 19th now. So we've got a little different. But we are fortunate that we have an open date this week, so it won't be a typical game week. We'll be way ahead as far as our normal game plan, procedure and process. But we'll, typically we have a lot of people in the building, a lot of things going on signing day. We can't do any of that. So it'll be pretty simple. We're going to make it fun for our signees, and we'll probably start about 11 o'clock in the morning and involve each coach, and the whole thing will probably take about an hour. So it's going to be really good. In fact, we just kind of went over our procedure this morning in a staff meeting. It'll be fun, but I am thankful we have the open date so that it won't be any more crazier than it needs to be.
So is it like a virtual run of show, is what you're saying, or to announce who's signing?
Virtual run of show. We'll have each coach involved. It'll all be we'll have a commentator that's kind of emceeing the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have video of all the signees and comments on them from myself and the coaches, and do some kind of unique things, some neat things to really highlight these guys and make it a special day for everybody.
Who is, again, I just mentioned you're in your 12th full season as head coach there at Clemson. Who was the recruit that helped you, I guess, put your foot in the ground and start going in the direction where we're seeing you year in and year out now? Is there a recruit, one guy who helped?
Yeah, I would say, ironically, the first one, I wasn't the head coach, but I did recruit him, and that was C.J. Spiller.
Mm-hmm.
So I recruited C.J., and then his junior year, in the middle of the season, we were 3-3. That's when I became the interim coach, and so ironically, I would have to say him. Again, I personally recruited him, so he was a huge part. No question of me getting this job because, he came back. We finished strong. That team went 4-2 to finish up the season, and that gave me an opportunity to get the job. And then CJ chose to come back to play for me his senior year. He could have gone on and gone pro, and we led us to our first ACC championship game. We didn't win, but we won our first division title and got a taste of it in 2009, and which was awesome. So I would have to say him, and then my first recruiting class, we signed 12 guys. I called them the Dandy Dozen,
Mm-hmm.
and those 12, because I only had a few weeks to go recruit, but I had a young man named Taj Boyd,
Yes,
who could have really gone most anywhere, and Taj Boyd came in here and really helped lay the foundation for the program that we enjoy now, and led us to our first ACC championship in 20 years. Led us to our first BCS win, beating Ohio State in 2013, beating LSU in the Peach Bowl in 12, and really built a great foundation for Deshaun to come in here, Trevor, et cetera. So I would have to say Spiller and Taj Boyd, and then Grady Jarrett on the defensive side. If I had to pick one guy, Grady Jarrett was a foundational piece to this program.
Dabo Swinney, Clemson football here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's go to the here and now. So you're taking on Notre Dame for the second time this year, and how would you I had Brian Kelly on this week. I'll ask you the same exact question. How would you talk to the, I guess, front load, if you will, to the committee, that if you lose this game, that you should still be in the top 4 when there are others that may not have played the same competition or even the same number of games, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really obvious. That's a tough question to answer in my position because I mean, we feel like we're definitely one of the best 4 teams in the country, and there's nothing that's going to happen in that game next week for Clemson or Notre Dame that's going to change that, in my opinion. And that's based on data, and I don't think that it's almost like you got to have 120 hours to get a business degree, and but yet, these people over here only need 60 hours to get a business degree. I think, anytime you step in between the lines in the game of football, there's a lot that can happen. A lot. I mean, heck, we in 2017 we lost to a 3-win or 4-win Syracuse team and still went to the playoffs. So anything can happen. Guys can get hurt. There's a lot, and so I think the fact that we're going to have 11 games. As well as the SEC teams. I mean, you look at Florida and Texas A&M and Alabama. I mean, these teams are going to have 11 games in this year. It's incredible. And, I think the Big Ten, I think, had the same opportunity, and they chose not to play. And I think the only reason they ended up playing is because of the leadership of the SEC and the ACC and the Big 12, and have demonstrated that we could do it and do it in a safe way. And it's been an unbelievably challenging season, that's for sure. But I think that the committee's going to have some tough questions to answer and things like that, regardless of what they do. And obviously, as coaches, we don't control any of that stuff. So I do think that our team has played incredibly well. We had a double overtime loss at the number 2 team in the country now, Notre Dame. It was a great team and an unbelievable game. And again, no matter what happens for Notre Dame or Clemson, nothing changes in my mind as far as both of these teams being in the top 4.
So again, I asked this of Coach Kelly as well, and he did say the same thing. I'm just the coach. I had to point out that just like you are influential. You're an influencer. So you would have a problem with not making it, obviously. But you would have a problem, even if you did make it, maybe, that a team that played half the number of games would make it. Would you have an issue with that, Coach?
I wouldn't have an issue with it because, again, it's not my my position to have an issue with it. My position is to coach my team, regardless of whoever. And you hate it for. I just think that there has to be some type of standard. And I just think it would be, if I was on a committee, it would be hard for me to leave out a 10-1 Texas A&M or a 11-game Florida team, over a team that's played 6 games. That would be hard for me if I was on the committee, but I'm not on the committee, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't mean they're not a great team and could win the whole thing. I just think that there has to be, I just think from a big picture standpoint, I would lean toward rewarding the teams that have been all in. So, and because it's been an incredible challenge.
No doubt, it's been a unique season, as you had firsthand experience. By the way, I think I mistakenly received your Christmas card from Florida State, Coach Swinney. It's been a wild campaign. So, what about the idea? And I know I'm spitting in the wind, but to me, Coastal Carolina, I'd love to see him get a crack against you, or Alabama. I'd love to see 8 teams. I'd love to use this season in the same way that Major League Baseball recognized that they had to expand their playoffs, and the NBA and the NHL had to reconfigure the way in which teams qualified for their playoffs. And just say, this is a different year. Let's get 8 teams in. Would you take issue with that, or would you be in favor of something like that?
Yeah, well, I think that gets back into, again, now you're going to ask some teams to play 14, 15 games, and some teams to play, 7, 8, 9 games, and I think that's a real challenge because the totality of a season it's a different team after 11 games than after 5 or 6 games in every regard, mentally, physically, you name it, and so. I mean, hey, whatever. I think the word for 2020 is flexibility, and focus on what you control, and that's what we've tried to do around here. So, we didn't even know our schedule. We didn't even know who we were opening up with till mid-August. So, we're just excited to play, and but I know this: I wouldn't want to extend our season. Next week's 20 weeks for us. 20. Typically we've gone about 13, 14 weeks, but we started at the beginning of August and didn't play till, mid-September, and now we're all the way to December the 19th. But we've been going since the end of July when they allowed us to start doing the walkthroughs, started practicing in the 1st of August. So I certainly wouldn't want to extend the season, but I don't think that would be right for all these teams, like I said, that have been going for a long, long time. I don't think that's fair to the kids.
A few more minutes left with Dabo Swinney, Clemson football, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Coach, I don't normally wave my fandom and I guess preface a question, but this is very important to me as a Jet fan. How's Trevor? How's he doing? Is he okay?
Trevor's great.
Yeah? Is he?
He's awesome.
How's he looking?
He's
How's
awesome.
he looking?
Yeah, he's never been better. He's pretty special.
Yeah?
He's pretty special.
Hair's perfect. Everything, yeah?
Loves to play.
Yeah?
Hair's perfect.
Okay.
Loves to practice.
Okay.
Yeah. Likes the grind, likes the grittiness of football.
Okay.
He's pretty special.
Is he at all thinking about the future? Do you guys have a conversation about what he's thinking about?
Oh, we've had lots of conversations. Well, yeah, he's thinking about the future. He's thinking about December the 19th.
Oh, I'm looking over the steering wheel, sir. I look over the steering wheel, sir. I look over the steering wheel.
Yeah, he is going to graduate. He is going to graduate on December the 17th.
Okay.
So, at 1:00 p.m. So
okay.
I'm excited about that for him as well. And he's getting married next spring.
Where's he registered? Where's he registered? Where's he registered, Coach? Because I'd love to send something.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you still do that? Do you still register? I don't know. You're gonna get him some what's that stuff called? The fine china?
Yeah, no, a gravy boat.
Do people still get that?
He might need He might need a gravy boat. I don't know. Certainly to fill a candlestick or something. Well,
yeah. Sure he needs a saucer and a coffee cup.
That's what I'm thinking about. Just and because he is a fine piece of china himself, Coach, and there's a lot of conversation at the next level that he's looking at what's happening with a particular winless team and how dreadful they look, and would be thinking about not going to them if they draft him. Would you say that there's anything to such a conversation?
We've not had any conversation about that, but regardless of who don't you have to be bad to get the number one pick? Isn't that the way it works at that level?
That's the deal at that level, yes, sir.
That's the deal. That's the way it works. So I mean, regardless, I don't think he's going to go to a Super Bowl, a team coming off a Super Bowl win. It's not like he can. Out of high school, he was able to pick to come to Clemson.
Yes, he was.
Pick up from where Deshaun Watson left off. He doesn't really get that opportunity, regardless of what year he goes out. He that's just the way it is. But I'll tell you this: regardless of where he goes, he's going to win because he's a winner. That's what he does, and he's going to be just fine. Whoever gets him will quickly realize just how special he is.
Well, I don't think you need to admonish any talent evaluators like your last quarterback, who has proven to look a lot like Michael Jordan in cleats, that you don't need to admonish them to dare to put a second-grade tag on this kid. I mean, it's There's a lot of talk that he wouldn't want to come. That just doesn't sound like him. I've never met him, but I've heard about him. I've heard in your voice, it just doesn't sound like somebody who would just not want to take on the challenge potentially.
This is the most humble, easy to be around kid you'll ever meet in your life. I always tell people, I know he looks like Hollywood. He's the most least Hollywood guy you ever want to meet. He is so low maintenance, blue collar, same guy every day, incredible focus, work ethic, love of preparation. I mean, he's Deshaun Watson. He's everything you love about Deshaun Watson. He's just 6'6", and a bigger arm. But he can run. He's got those same intangibles. Just a wonderful young man. Got it all together, and he's not afraid of any challenge. I can tell you that.
So he's
not when it comes to this game of football. He loves it.
So he's LeBron in cleats, then, right? Would you say?
I don't know. That gets in. That's a little different.
He's 6'6".
I like LeBron, but I'm an MJ guy.
Okay.
Get into some personal stuff there.
Okay. Well, I went personal with the Jets. So look again. I know you got to win a game against Notre Dame, and then you have some other games that you're hoping to play after that. Just take care of them. Tell them I'm thinking of them. And to be well.
Tell him to be looking for that coffee cup and saucer that you're going to send, off his registry.
Yes, Bed Bath and Beyond, and he's the Beyond. He puts the Beyond in Bed Bath and Beyond. Okay. Speaking on behalf of all New Yorkers, you take care of him.
Speaking of, I always have gone for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I've always been at my mom's and my brother's, eating with them. And my wife had to cook her first Thanksgiving full meal because we had to all be at my house.
Okay.
And I think it's the first time I've ever eaten on our fine china that we got, when we got married going on 27 years ago. I think it's the first time I've ever seen it. I didn't even know we had it, but we got it.
Right.
And I'm sure it cost people money, and we registered for that stuff.
Yes.
Many, many, many years ago. So, thank you to all the people who gave us our nice plates and saucers, and I saw them for the first time.
Yes.
Thanksgiving Day.
It might be like algebra. You might not know when you need it, but sometimes you need that sort of math in your head. At some point it'll come, and like the fine china.
Yeah, X plus X equals 2X. I think
you got it. You got it.
I think.
You got it. Enjoy checking on the X, Y's, and Z's for your game, and we appreciate the time as always, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah. All the best.
Same to you. That's Dabo Swinney. You bet. Same to you. Dabo Swinney, Clemson head football coach, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.